podcast listening family. Welcome back to Bank on Learning More, brought to you by Land of Lincoln Credit Union. We're happy to have you back with us for our episode 9, which is our season finale of season 1.
Episode.
I am Cayla Hittmeyer, Chief Marketing Officer for Land of Lincoln Credit Union, along with
Katie Saloga, our marketing coordinator.
Yes, and we decided with this final episode that we were just going to have some fun.
Yeah.
Because we found, as we were researching different topics for this season and for episodes and shows, and we will be coming back with I should mention real quick, there will be a season 2.
Season 2 coming at you.
That's right. And it's going to be bigger and better, and you're going to be able to see our faces.
Oh, yeah, we
Big
committed
announcement.
to that.
it's in here now. So.
I was like, and what?
We are going to also send you out a recording of our actual live video. Well, not live.
A video recording.
Because we can
Not
edit
live.
if we have to.
No, thank you.
But you'll be able to see it. We're going to put it on YouTube. So if you are a visual person, you don't just want to listen to the podcast, or you want to listen to the podcast and go and see the stupid faces we're making in the midst of it, you'll be able to with season 2. So we will be coming back at you bigger and better. That'll probably be coming back out with season 2 in late summer. Mid to late summer, so keep an eye out for that. But in the meantime, if you miss us, you can just re-listen to all these episodes as many times as you want.
We wouldn't hate that at all.
No, you just go right ahead. But as we were researching for season 1 and season 2, we kept coming across some interesting articles about, we Google money, topics about money, and there's some crazy information out there. We learned.
Yeah.
Some very weird and interesting, just like, if you're a trivia buff, you're going to have all the information you need
this one.
when we
Yeah.
get done with this episode, because we were able to dig up 40 crazy facts about money. Let's just dive right in. You want to take it away, the first one?
Oh, sure. So $2 bills are often considered unlucky. The $2 bill was printed in 1862. Interestingly, $2 notes were considered unlucky and unpopular throughout most of history.
I wonder why.
I don't know, because I feel like they're kind of like a prized item to have.
Well, it's funny you say that, because you don't see them very often, but for some reason, my mom loves to give those to my kids, in birthday cards and stuff, because they're different.
Where I usually see them.
We don't spend them. They keep them.
Yeah.
I have several at home, but I've not ever gone to a bank and asked for one. Have you?
No.
So you just
I don't even know that we have them.
That's a good question. Okay, so to our listeners out there who are LLC members, the next time you're getting a cash withdrawal, ask them if they have
all in $2 bills.
No, that's very unlucky, as this says here. All right, the next one. A majority of U.S. bills have traces of drugs on them. I don't think this is anything any of us haven't thought about, but a 2009 study by chemist, Yang Zhao, I think I nailed it.
Actually,
Yeah. Of the University of Massachusetts, Dartmouth, found that 85% to 95% of paper money in circulation contains traces of cocaine. In Detroit, Los Angeles, Miami, Boston, and a few other major cities, bills showed traces of cocaine 100% of the time.
That's scary.
It's gross, too. It is a little bit odd, because then you're going to have it on your fingers, and just don't put your hands in your mouth after handling money. Your whole hand.
You're just going to say, just don't touch money. Don't put your hands in your mouth.
Okay, so let's go on to the next one. You take the next one, because
this
it's
is a
right
good
in line.
lead up. Money is dirty. We've all heard how money is dirty and how reportedly there are traces of cocaine.
Right.
Okay, we just
Heard
said
it.
this.
Got it.
But did you know that money is dirtier than a household toilet?
Oh, gross.
Which I think is similar to your phones and things like that.
Ugh.
How about the fact that the flu virus can live on a bill for up to 17 days?
On a $1 bill.
A dollar bill.
That's disgusting.
So stop putting money in your mouth.
Well, it says stop putting money in your mouth when you're hurrying to check out. I have seen people that are handling things, and they've got.
I don't know if I've ever done that with money.
No, there's not a chance I'd ever do it, but I've seen it, and I just want to.
Well, yeah, it literally money circulates. You hand it to the next person, they hand it to the next person.
Well, and that's the whole reason people stopped taking cash during COVID. because it has too many germs on it. And now you know, according to this, the flu virus can live on a dollar bill up to 17 days. That's ridiculous. Okay, along the same lines of a bill's life expectancy is no longer than 15 years. After being used on a regular basis, bills wear out and are taken out of circulation. The $1 bill gets the most use and typically only lasts 5.8 years, so it's even less, but in case you were wondering.
Bill doesn't have a long life.
Nope, it's going away.
Let's see.
Do they just throw it away? Do they burn it?
That's a great question.
I couldn't. I could not throw a dollar bill away. Could you? Maybe they recycle it and make new dollar bills, and then
I feel like at one point, my dad doesn't listen to podcasts, so I can say this. He gave me one that was torn in half to bring to work to get a new one back. I never did that for him. Oops. And I think I may have thrown that one away.
I just couldn't do it. I couldn't even do it. You can, actually. So to our listeners out there, if you tear or damage money, you can bring it in and get full value, swap it out, because they can be sent back to the Federal Reserve and they get full value for that. But
I just never did it.
See, I don't think I could ever just toss, although with how much money I spend in crafts and crochet, my husband would argue that I throw money away.
That's true. I throw it away on spending things. Yes. Gosh.
Oh, Lordy. All right.
Let's see. It takes about 10 years to become a banknote engraver.
Which is the person who makes bills. Dollar bills. They literally are engraving on the dollar bills.
And there are so many lines on that. The responsibility to approve all U.S. currency design belongs to the U.S. Secretary of Treasury. However, banknote engravers are the ones who handle the complex and intricate job of engraving the money.
Okay.
If this sounds like your dream job, you better get started.
Better get it moving. You're going to school longer than a doctor.
Oh, gosh, that's crazy.
Isn't it nuts?
10-year apprenticeship.
Oh, my goodness. Wonder why. Just because it has to be so
precise.
Absolutely precise, I guess.
No, thank you.
No way. But yeah, that's literally longer than a doctor goes to school. Okay. No, I'm not going to do that. Do they even have it? Maybe that's why there's a shortage of money. Because there's a shortage of banknote engravers. Because it takes too long.
Yeah.
I hope it pays well. It doesn't say.
I would hope so. Yeah. Probably not, unfortunately.
Probably not. But you could make your own money and pay yourself.
I got a raise today.
That might be a bad practice to promote.
This is why we don't do that job.
Okay, next one. People were initially against putting famous faces on coins. We're so used to seeing portraits and faces on our currency today. However, early coins produced by the United States used images of liberty and the bald eagle rather than faces of prominent figures. That's because the British used pictures of the monarchs on their currency, and having just won their independence, Americans did not want to be reminded of that.
I don't blame them one bit.
Right. They were like,
petty
forget
like
it.
that.
Yeah, they were like,
I don't
no.
want to be like them.
Yeah, I'd rather see an eagle anyway or whatever, but all right.
But if there were more animals on money,
I'd be happy.
Puppies. Puppies and giraffes.
Please put a puppy or a koala bear on my dollar bill next time.
I mean, I guess it doesn't make sense for America to have giraffes and
or koala bears.
Whatever. Well, whatever. The $1 bill hasn't been redesigned in more than 50 years. In 1996, the government began redesigning the $100 note as well as other notes in following years to better protect its against counterfeiting.
All right.
The first major change in 67 years.
Wow.
So I don't know why
they need to get a graphics artist on their staff. Switch that up.
So it took 6 or 7 different people in their 10 years of training to do all of that for 67 years. The $1 bill, on the other hand, is so rarely counterfeited that, gosh, my eyes.
They're not. I know.
Not only no plans to redesign it, but it was actually made illegal to change the bill.
What?
In the 2015
omnibus spending bill, whatever that is. I don't know.
I'm like, I don't know this word. Omnibus. Okay, so
that makes sense. The next line, an appeal to the vending machine industry that would require a costly overhaul if the dollar bill was redesigned. So basically, we didn't change the dollar bill.
So then we don't have to change vending machines?
That's crazy. Or it's synergy.
But did we not change the 5 either?
I guess more people. I guess more people put dollars in there. I'm assuming,
Probably.
But I guess that's either nuts that we would change this policy for vending machines. Only Americans. Only Americans would keep.
We need our snacks.
Do not mess with my Doritos. Okay. Well, the next one. Hold your bills up to the light, and you will see hidden faces. I did not know this.
I feel like I did, but I've never really tested it.
I'm going to have to, but hold up your bill to the light and you'll see a second image of the portrait. For example, with the $100 bill, you can see Benjamin Franklin from both sides of the bill in the blank space located on the right side of the portrait. I did not know this, but if I ever get a $100 bill again...
Your wallet's just not full of them.
That's a very rare occasion.
Yeah. Okay, I thought this one was cool because I did not know how those security bands work, which I'm sure all of our tellers do.
Of course.
So, security threads on bills glow in different colors. So...
It helps you spot counterfeit money, I guess.
Yeah, which I have seen where they hold a UV light up, and I just didn't know what they were checking for.
Because I thought it was just the magic pens.
Yeah.
The little markers that change color. Yes, but evidently you don't need that pen.
I guess not. So on the $5 bill, the thread glows blue, $10 is orange, 20 is green, 50 is yellow, and 100 is pink.
Pretty pink. Mm-hmm. I really need a $100 bill so I can check
so we can test all these things.
That is interesting, though. I'm going to have to check that out. Okay, the next one. This is interesting to me. Bills cost less than 20 cents to produce. Mm-hmm. So the cost to print the bills, it depends on the denomination, but the price ranges from a nickel to over a dime. But still, so you're looking at $1 and $2 bills cost 5.6 cents to produce per note. A $5 bill only costs 11 cents to produce. A $10 bill, 11.7. $20 bill, 10.8. $50 bill, 12.9 cents to produce. And a $100 bill is a big whopping 13 cents.
And is it because there's different materials involved or because there's more engraving?
I think there's probably more engraving on this because if someone's going to counterfeit, I know the most commonly counterfeited, and I may be getting ahead of myself when I read this, but it's the $20 bill.
Oh, probably.
So, but it's interesting because it's less for the 20 than it is for the, I don't know, whatever. It's just weird. All right.
Okay, paper money is not made out of paper. It does not grow on trees. Though people commonly refer to bills as paper money, they actually aren't made from paper. Instead, each bill is a combination of 75% cotton and 25% linen.
That's a shirt. That's a shirt. You can literally make money out of a shirt.
Yeah. Sew it together, throw it in your washing machine.
Funny. I knew that it was different. It wasn't actually paper, but I did not know that it was a cotton linen blend.
Yeah.
Now you know.
Probably just to keep it alive longer.
Yeah.
You know, if it were real paper, if it got wet, your dollar's gone.
And those are, resources that you can grow instead. Well, I guess you could grow trees, but you don't have to cut them down to make money all the time out of paper. But anyway. All right. U.S. bills are printed in only 2 places around the world. This I did not know.
I didn't either.
The Bureau of Engraving and Printing prints the money, and it has facilities in both Washington, D.C., and Fort Worth, Texas. The Fort Worth facility was opened in 1990 and helps serve the western United States, while the D.C. serves the eastern United States. But I did not know there's only 2 places where they're printed around the world.
And I don't really know the difference with this next one.
Okay.
Oh, coins.
Coins.
That's the difference.
There it is.
Coins are... It's right there. Coins are minted in only a handful of cities. There are 6 mint facilities. There's one in Philadelphia, Denver, San Francisco, and West Point, New York. West Point, New York. Okay.
All right. Oh, and a bullion depository in Fort Knox, Kentucky, because it's hard to get in there. It's like Fort Knox, the saying. It's like, anyway.
And headquarters are in D.C.
Okay, well, there you go. Coins are only made in a few places and bills in only 2. Okay, and states almost had their own currencies. This is bizarre. The initial Articles of Confederation, the predecessor to the Constitution, gave both Congress and the states the right to coin their own money. Can you imagine the hassle of having to get new currency every time you cross a state line?
You think that would lower travel from state to state?
definitely would lower interstate commerce. I mean,
that's true.
in order to go to Missouri and buy something, you had to literally go and do an exchange. That's insane. Ultimately, it was decided that there would just be one national coin.
I'm glad somebody said
got
no.
smart on that one.
Yeah.
All right.
The Civil War sparked paper money circulation. Though the colonies issued paper money prior to winning independence, the federal government didn't start circulating paper money until 1861. That's because the government needed to finance the Civil War, which was expensive, and needed demand notes, quote unquote, issued by the Treasury to secure loans from northeastern banks.
So there you go. Civil War brought us paper money. Dirty, gross paper money.
Exactly.
The government once accepted postage stamps as payment. During the Civil War, there was a shortage in supply of coins. At that time, they were still made of silver and gold. Silver and gold. So people were holding on to them because the metals were valuable. To address this, the government started accepting postage stamps as payment for debts. Well,
see, that
they're expensive now.
They are. But it does make sense since it's like a government issued.
How much are they even worth now? They're like
a stamp.
Aren't they like 60 cents?
I don't know.
Because you don't mail anything because you're a millennial.
I think you can get a pack of 20 for $11 at Lincoln Credit Union.
Oh, look at that.
I believe that's the price and the amount. Because that's where I buy my stamps.
Okay.
Because I mail things sometimes.
Well, next time you get yourself a book of stamps, you don't have to mail. Go try to pay for a pack of gum at Kroger. Say they used to take postage stamps.
I have this quote that says they did this. All right. Today's bills are small change. Since 1969, the $100 bill has been the largest bill issued by the government. However, it's far from the largest denomination ever printed. From 1934 and 1935, the government printed a 100,000 gold certificate that was only used for transactions among Federal Reserve banks.
I want to see a $100,000 bill.
It's a certificate.
Well,
so it's probably
I'm going to call it a bill because that's just insane.
So prior to 1969, the government issued $500, $1,000, $5,000, and $10,000 notes.
Those are fun too.
I would love to have those.
Yes.
Though they are still considered legal tender, the Bureau of Engraving and Printing expects that most are in the hands of private collectors.
Can you imagine though, like going into Walmart and you're paying for your stuff and you've got like a $1,000 bill? It's like, I'm sorry, I don't have anything smaller.
You buy that pack of gum. I'm sorry. I just have a $1,000 bill.
Okay, next one. 2/3 of all U.S. currency is held abroad. The Bureau of Engraving and Printing estimates that between half and 2/3 of the value of U.S. currency in circulation is actually held abroad. There are a number of countries and territories that use the U.S. dollar as their official currency, including Ecuador and Guam. So depending on where you're traveling, you may not need to exchange your currency. Interesting.
There's a nearly $1.7 trillion worth of U.S. currency in circulation.
That's a lot of money.
Whew. As of September 26, 2018, there was an estimated $1.69 trillion in circulation, including $1.64 trillion worth of Federal Reserve notes.
Okay.
In fact, that's only slightly more than the estimated student loan debt in America, which is approximately $1.3 trillion.
That's an awful thought.
That's terrible. Can we forgive those loans yet?
Oh, gosh. That's an awful thought, though, that there's 1.7 trillion worth of currency in circulation and 1.3 trillion worth of student loan debt.
So if we just all gave our money to student loan debts, we could just get rid of it all.
Yeah, but remember, 2/3 of it are held abroad.
Shoot.
So
somebody make a phone call to Guam.
All right. The Federal Reserve is missing. Oh, here, this kind of puts a hitch in our plans. The Federal Reserve is missing 2/3 of the $100 bills printed. They counted up all the $100 bills that are currently in banks, cash registers, etc., and found that close to 2/3 of the $100 bills are unaccounted for. In other words, they're overseas or hidden under someone's bed.
Wow. That just makes me wonder where
is it?
Where and why?
No wonder I don't see them very often.
That's true. Somebody's hoarding them. The most counterfeited denomination of money is the $20 bill, like you said before. The next most counterfeited is the $100 bill. In foreign countries, the U.S. $100 bill is frequently counterfeited, and since we are on the topic of counterfeiting, according to the Coinage Act of 1972, counterfeiting by mint employees is punishable by death.
Get out of town.
No.
If you counterfeit a quarter, you're dying.
And, like, what if they just suspect it was you and it wasn't?
You're already dead.
You're dead. You're
Sorry.
gone.
You're done.
Well,
Okay. The typical lifespan of a $1 bill is just 18 months, meaning that they're going to bring them out. While the lifespan of a $100 bill is close to 9 years, but they're going to bring them out of circulation. So $1 bill is about 18 months, $5 bill 2 years, $10 bill 3 years, 20 is 4 years, a $50 bill 9 years, and $100 bill 9 years. However, coins, which I always like to look at the year of coins in my wallet.
oh, yeah, me too.
I love that.
I used to collect them as a kid.
Yeah.
Anytime I thought they were old, and they weren't even old.
Right.
This is 10 years older
Oh
than
my
me.
goodness. But it's 30 years for coins, so they're more durable. They don't get, you know.
And now they don't get used. I'm sure the lifespan's probably going to grow on coins.
Yeah.
You can make your worn out money crisp again. I just thought this one was funny. It takes about 4,000 double folds, first forward and then backward, before a bill will tear. You can restore the life of your bill somewhat by ironing it.
Dude, I don't even iron the clothes I wear. I'm not going to iron
spray
my money.
stuff with Febreze and let it hang. I guess I could do the same and just clip my dollars up.
Yes, let them hang. Okay, the Secret Service was originally created to fight counterfeiting. I didn't know that either. In July of 1865, the U.S. Secret Service was created during the Civil War to fight counterfeiting. The Civil War really changed a lot of things on the money front. Counterfeiting was a huge problem then, and by the end of the war, a third to a half of all U.S. paper currency in circulation was counterfeit money. That's insane.
It really is.
It's just
And
crazy.
people probably now collect the counterfeited money.
They probably do. It's probably worth a lot of money, ironically.
I would think.
Holy.
All right, before the Federal Reserve in 1913, each bank printed its own money.
Can you imagine?
Can you just picture like our tellers up there printing money?
Right. I'm going to doubt that it was a teller responsibility.
In my mind, I just think like, dude, you're right. We're printing your money.
Nothing against our absolutely amazing and wonderful tellers. But I'm going to think that responsibility might have gone a little bit higher up the
I'm just
management
used
level.
to our on-demand lifestyle where you just walk up and things are printed in front of you. It's probably printed beforehand.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy though to think about. Every bank just printed their own. But this makes me think of the conversation we had today about at lunch with another colleague, with Jerry here, where we were talking about like how did these places function before Wi-Fi, internet, computers, because like we were talking about, if someone went in and withdrew money from their account at one branch, but we're not connected to the other branch, and they go to the next branch and they withdraw it,
How would you know?
how do they know?
How does our staff know? Which I think we decided maybe you just only went to your own branch.
Yeah, and like you can only go to one.
Hop around.
I don't know. I just really need to know. I need to talk to people that have been here at our credit union many, many moons ago and tell me, how did this work?
How did we do this before computers?
It's just crazy. Okay. Move to Zimbabwe and you could be a billionaire overnight.
Done. Deal.
You better take bug spray because I think they have mosquitoes.
Okay.
Around the start of the 2000s, Zimbabwe experienced hyperinflation that peaked in 2008. Just how bad was this hyperinflation, you ask? At the peak, a single US dollar was worth 2 trillion. No, that's not right. 2 billion. I can't
I can't even
read
help
numbers
you.
that high. 2,621,984,228 Zimbabwe dollars. Did I do it right?
I think so.
So if you had just a $1 bill and moved to Zimbabwe, you'd be a billionaire.
I mean, that'd be great.
But don't get too excited. Tell them.
Unfortunately, no, I can't tell them. A loaf of bread costs what, Kayla?
Let's see, 1,000 million, 10 billion, 487 some Zimbabwe dollars. $10 billion for a loaf of bread.
No, thank you.
So you're not a billionaire. you're just...
If you don't buy anything and you just stand there for a bit, you're a billionaire and you should probably come back.
Just don't
come back home.
Need food.
Don't need anything. Okay, only 8% of the world's currency is actual physical money, and this freaks me out.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not Bitcoin.
Right.
The majority of transactions are all done digitally, so no physical currency exchanges hands. Think about how often you pay for things with your credit card or debit card or using online payments. Mm-hmm. This is why only 8% of currency is physical money.
This made sense to me. It was as I was reading, I was thinking about, even your paycheck is just digital. I mean, most do direct deposit and they don't get a check and they don't cash it. So it goes in your account and then you pay for things with the credit card or debit card.
Yeah.
This is literally...
It is rare that I actually pay for things in money anymore.
Or get money.
Yeah.
Just doesn't happen. It's so crazy. Crazy.
But I just don't like it. But that's also why you need to call ahead if you're going to withdraw a bunch of money.
Right.
So we can make sure we
have it on hand. Yeah, I did not realize
it's not really sitting there for you necessarily.
Right. And I did not realize that there was only 8% of the currency is actual physical money. That's just insane. Mm-hmm. Okay. More Monopoly money is printed in a given year than money in the entire world.
Which makes sense because there's not as much of it as we think.
Well, I just can't believe that one. We'll just skip right past that one.
Okay, is this where you fold things? Secret designs on the $1 bill links it to the original 13 colonies.
Oh, yes. This is the lucky 13 all over the place.
If you look closely at the $1 bill, you will notice a few interesting things tied to the number 13, which is a reference to the original 13 colonies.
Okay.
So, let's see. 13 different representations of the number 13 are on the bill.
I gotta check that out. This is the dollar bill we're talking about. $1 bill.
There are 13 steps on the pyramid.
Okay.
13 vertical bars on the shield. Mm-hmm. 13 horizontal stripes on the top of the shield.
That is intricate.
Yeah.
Okay.
13 stars above the eagle. Mm-hmm. Here's real intricate. 13 leaves and 13 berries on the olive branch in one of the eagle's talons, and in the other there are 13 arrows.
Oh, for crying out loud.
And lastly, on the front of the bill, on the Department of Treasury seal, there are 14 stars above
13.
The key. 13 stars.
You're like, new colony. New colony, not in the history books.
You can't trust my young old eyes sometimes.
When I read this one and I looked at the bill, I actually did. I'm like, this might have been overkill.
We get it.
I mean, we appreciate that there were 13 colonies and all that, but I mean, they literally, everywhere they could throw a 13 in there, threw a 13 in. That's just crazy. Here's a good one. Apple makes, on average, over $163 million a day.
I'm not surprised.
If you do the math, that's $1 million every 8 minutes. You just got an Apple phone.
I did.
You contributed to this.
I did. And then I had to buy a $20 charging block to go with the new cord.
And there will be more.
Yeah.
You'll have to get more because you'll need a second cord and a second charging block.
I'm not buying into that scheme. I'm using my old ones.
In the time it took for us to read this article, Apple made over $2 million.
Probably way over.
That's just insane.
Oh, gosh.
All right.
Quarters and dimes have ridges because people used to shave the edges of the coins when they were made of pure metal. Merchants had to weigh the coins to make sure that they were receiving unshaved coins.
Makes sense.
The ridges made it almost impossible to shave them. Mm-hmm. The coins still have ridges today, even though they aren't made of pure metal any longer. So the reason that they're still ridged. So visually impaired people like me who can't read can distinguish between them more easily.
I didn't know the last part. I knew that they were originally ridged because they would shave them to meld the metal together to make something else and make money and all that, but I did not know we kept them. But if you go and look now, there's a difference in the ridges between all. Quarters have thicker ridges, dimes have smaller ridges, nickels don't, and they're thicker, pennies don't. It's just insane.
I didn't know that it was because of shaving coins. I thought it was so you could feel that they were different.
Well, I'm old. You're young.
And I can't see.
That's the difference.
I need those ridges.
Okay, here's one that maybe you didn't know. Pennies in your garden deter pests away. Pennies buried in a garden will repel slugs, which get electrical shocks from touching copper and zinc. Those poor little things have the worst lives.
Really, though.
Salt disintegrates them.
Yeah.
Pennies shock them.
They're just trying to live their lives.
God love them. Leave the slugs alone. Save the slugs.
The average person has $56 of loose change in their house.
I believe it.
Let's see. Other than the couch, I don't know where this loose change is hiding, but apparently it's there. My question is, how did they complete this research study?
Like, I need you all to report to me how much change is in your house.
Whoever wrote this. Did they assign people to go into the homes and dig around?
I find the loose change when I clean the car. And, I mean, the couch and laundry. We've established that I see a lot of money in my laundry.
I have like 2 places where piles of change have collected, and I know it's mostly pennies. I don't think I have $56 worth.
Yeah. And I think each one of us in our house have like a little coin jar thing. So there's one in each kid's room. And so we probably could come up with $56. All right, good to know. I'm not as broke as I thought. That's nice to hear. Okay, the average allowance, this is ridiculous. The average allowance is now $65 a month.
No.
Quite frankly, I thought it might be a little bit more with these extra children that I have.
And inflation.
And inflation, yeah. But you read that right. $65 a month. Long gone are the days of getting $5 for allowance. According to a survey, kids today get close to $800 a year from allowance. They said, imagine if you invested that, you could retire at 40. If a kid started investing that $800 a month.
Well, give your kids the money and then give them that advice as well, you know?
My kids think they need, first of all, they don't do enough chores. But that's another episode. So I won't bother you with that.
This week on Cayla's Venting. Okay, curious where piggy banks originated from. In Old English, pig, P-Y-G-G, was a type of clay that was used for making jars and dishes that held money. Over the generations, the word eventually morphed into piggy bank.
Piggy bank.
I never knew that.
There you have it. That's also, while we're on that, I love to give that as like a baby gift.
It's a good one.
And people don't think about that, but if you get one and you can, I'm going to do a little local business plug in Decatur. If you go to Giggles, they can customize and put a name on it and everything. Yeah. And it's a super cute baby gift. And people don't think of that very much anymore. And you don't register for it.
No,
like
why
baby
would
things.
you?
So there's an idea for you. There are ATMs on every continent on Earth. Wow. There are 1.6 million ATMs in the world. There's even one in Antarctica. I knew that because you know why?
Because you went there.
I would like to. I really, really would. So first of all, let's just get a little more of it.
Is it in the co-op?
It probably is. We have a co-op as a credit union. We have a co-op, shared ATMs at no fee. She's going to Google it right now. But while you're doing that, I'll tell my nerdo story. So there's first of all, Antarctica is a peace zone. Like, all countries can come there. Yeah. It's not governed by any one particular country, but everyone goes there for research. So there's tons of different places there, different countries that come together. And for America, we have a place called McMurdo Station. And if you YouTube it, you can see a day in the life at McMurdo Station. I love it. I call myself a McMurdo nerdo because I love to look at videos because it's just so bizarre, the life there. But yes, I knew from those videos that there's ATMs. There's little small hospitals and restaurants and pubs. And I mean, they're not like you would think of here, a pub, but there's things for them to do because they go there and they stay for a good 6 to 8 months at a time.
Here's where we're going to find out how bad Katie is with geography.
Oh boy.
Then it's not part of our show. No.
That might be the problem.
I'm looking for Antarctica on this list. I'm like, maybe it's under
Did you put an ATM in Antarctica?
I went to our co-op site.
Okay, well, we'll come back to that one.
I went to International Search.
So anyway, like they said, why is there an ATM in Antarctica? Well, I told you why, because of the McMurdo Station, which is pretty amazing.
Very cool. Friday is the most popular day at the ATM. No surprise there. And the average amount people withdraw is $80. I'm more of a 60 kind of person. $60.
Just 20.
I don't hit the ATM often.
I don't either.
More than half of lottery tickets sold are bought by 5% of people.
I believe it.
While it's fun to play the lottery once in a while and dream of a life with $200 million, the reality is we barely have a chance of winning.
Sad.
Someone needs to tell these 5% of people that they could be doing much better financially if they simply invested their money instead of using it to buy lottery tickets.
I don't know. It's still fun. I don't buy lottery tickets, but I do like the scratch-offs. Because to me, they're a game.
Well, yeah.
And it's
just
fun.
to see if you win, then no big deal.
And a lot of times they're like a bingo or whatever, but anyway, what are you gonna do? A nickel once sold for over $40 million.
You skipped a very important one.
I did. I'll let you come back to that one. We gotta come back to the lottery. I'm sorry. My old eyes are bothering me now. A nickel once sold for over $40 million. The 1913 Liberty Head nickel sold for $43.7 million. It is a rare coin made by a rogue mint employee. That means they went nuts, I guess. Or maybe that just means they just decided to make something.
Be dead?
That's a good point. But maybe they were like, you know what? I'm going to make this. It's going to be super special, and then my boss is going to approve it, and then I'm going to get a promotion. Maybe that's what they mean by rogue. Okay.
I got it.
Apparently, there are only 5 known to be in existence, and one sold for $43 million. Okay, do that very important one that I skipped.
Yes. So
back to the lottery.
The lottery kills you. That's it.
Mic drop.
Sticking with the lottery. A person who drives 10 miles to buy a lottery ticket is 3 times more likely to die in a car accident while driving to buy the ticket than they are in winning the lottery.
Oh, that is so sad.
Just another reason why you're better off saving and investing money instead.
That's so crazy to think, though. You're more likely to die in a car accident on your way to the lottery ticket
than to win it.
Than to win the lottery when you buy the ticket.
Very unfortunate.
And what a way to look at life.
Yeah.
Just let that one go. Let's erase it. That was me rewinding. Okay. And then, here's another fun, sad fact to end on. If you have $10 in your pocket and you have no debt, you are wealthier than 25% of Americans with just $10 in your pocket but 0 debt. In other words, you're wealthier than close to 81 million people. So if you are listening and you have no debt and a $10 bill in your pocket, you are wealthy.
You are
wealthier than 81 million people.
Yeah.
I hate that. But you know what? We can help you. First of all, there's $56 a change
floating around in your
house.
home.
But secondly,
your kids are making 65 a month.
Yeah.
So they can help out.
That's insane. So, and you can come here and we can help you set up a budget, and you can be way wealthier than $10 in your pocket. But hey, good job for not having debt.
Yeah.
Because that's almost
common. Unavoidable.
But. That's exactly right. All right. Well, that was fun. It was just a good way that we decided to end our season with some of our own little editorial and some crazy facts. Yeah. And now you know some things that maybe you didn't know. Maybe you did know them, but you can share it. And anyway, if you enjoyed this, please share, please subscribe, and come back to us here in August. We will be announcing through our Facebook pages when we will be kicking off season 2, but we are sure happy that you joined us for this first season. We had a good time. Yeah. We're going to turn right around and have some amazing guests for you in season 2, and lots of community involvement and lots of topics that are very important, especially hopefully by the time that rolls around, gas prices are down again. Yeah. Inflation is deflating.
Let's deflate that.
Let's deflate it, okay? So we shall see. But thank you for joining us. Thanks, Katie, for being my sidekick.
Of course.
So much fun.
Thanks in the meantime, the leader on this.
Oh, well, yeah. In the meantime, all of you out there, make sure you check at llcu.org. We will continue to put up blogs and financial counseling type of advice. We'll do that on our social media pages too, so just be sure to follow us at llcu.com. In the meantime, please remember to bank on learning more.